What's good, everybody? It's your boy Senpai4 here, and today we need to talk about Redo of Healer. And I'm gonna just basically tell you straight up, this show is a freaking hentai. There is no way whatsoever you can see it a different way. It just is. And this ain't just to be like hating on the show or anything like that. This is nowhere near that. But this is just pointing out so many obvious things. And before anybody get their, head in the cloud too far, try to go head over heels over this show, it's pretty mid. So I'm just gonna lay down some facts for you and some type of things that I feel like that I recognize that I don't think a lot of other people has ever recognized, and I'm gonna pretty much destroy the normie barrier because this show is basically the normie level of anime. Honestly, you have plenty of other messed up shows that came out over the years. You have plenty of choosings and plenty of things you can go for when it comes to messed up concepts and shows. No, you can't tell me that there hasn't been shows like that has been showing messed up concepts that people have been riled up over. Like, you cannot tell me that something like Goblin Slayer went under the radar. Remember when everybody blew up about that and how it was so crazy? Sure, it may not have been in a revenge type of way, but it's whatever. Now, obviously, we already know because we already know that Redo a Healer was going to have some controversial moments because everybody kept talking about it. It kept blowing up. Everybody was trying to warn everybody like, oh snap, this anime is going to have like really messed up scenes. You might not be ready for it. And you know what? It does have messed up scenes and it does show a lot. And honestly, this show is like a legit hentai. At this point, I cannot stress how it is not a hentai. And I'm gonna tell you exactly which hentai it is. And it's freaking Steelwitch AnnRose. There is possibly no way you can't see that. Like, legit, the main character gets in a messed up situation. That sounds like Redo a Healer. Then, the main character ends up McDonald's rapping some of the girls. That also sounds pretty accurate. Also, this guy just keep getting in with a bunch of other girls, and then he ends up trying to be like this ultimate warrior type of fighter. That seems pretty spot on. Even though the same concept and same ideas aren't the same, it still follows the genuine same type of route. It is literally Steelwitch AnnRose, which, fun fact, I've already done a versus on it. And you can go and check it out. Hopefully I have a link in the description where you can go watch that. So basically, it's nothing I haven't seen before. So already putting it on the mid counter, that's probably already number one. Number two, to really define this anime and to really make it a real deal hentai, if we have to go that far, then it will also be a mix of Executive Evil Woman. It will literally be the mix of this show with this girl, Efna Chica, and basically it's going to be using the main character of that show and put it into Steelwitch AnnRose and mix it up and to become Redo of Healer. That's essentially what this is, because Executive Evil Woman, the guy basically punishes girls that don't do their job correctly and then ends up smashing them and then ends up taking their power. That's pretty much Redo of Healer. The guy pretty much does what he wants to whoever he getting it in with, and then basically warps their mind in some shape or form to make them even more messed up, or just take whatever they got. That's pretty much, or use them. That's pretty much the exact same thing Redo a Healer does. It's literally a hentai. There is no way you cannot unsee that. Honestly, when it comes down to it, when this show is done and said and done and all this, no one, unless this show gets to like a season 2, no one is going to remember Redo of Healer. I promise you, no one is going to remember this. Mainly because I shouldn't say that. No one's gonna remember the show for the plot or the story or anything about the revenge part. No one cares. No one will care. The only thing that people will care about is the controversial scenes. That's it. If this show did not have any type of controversial scenes in it, this show will be forgotten, and then people will be on their high horse saying, well, this show was a parody of itself, to be overly edgy and all that type of stuff. If you wanted some overly edgy content that's not that good, you can watch Tokyo Ghoul. So when it comes down to it, it's not really all that edgy. It's just a parody of what edgy and really messed up concepts like this really supposed to be. No, that is, it's just stupid. Honestly, this show is mid as freak. You can literally find shows like this anywhere. 2, you can literally find, or at least messed up concepts for shows anywhere like this. You can literally find that stuff and it would not be hard to find, whether it's anime or hentai. You have options. And then 2, this show, again, there's just so many of these that there's a lot of these that this one doesn't stand out whatsoever. Like I said, the only thing that people will remember from these shows is the very controversial sex scenes that you'll probably see on X videos. That's about it. That's quite literally the only thing that people will remember this show for, is how good these controversial scenes was, how amazing these scenes were, and, you know, just really being out there, just throwing everything to the wind, because why not? This show was literally made on being controversial. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. All this stuff doesn't really matter because it is what it is. It's gonna be really only remembered because of the controversial scenes, and that's about it. Oh, actually, this is actually this is actually a hentai from another show with time stop. Remember that? If I remember correctly, it was like the guy got disowned by his family because he was like the headmaster of a school of all girls school, and so the son goes to make a submission to go to every girl with the time stop ability, smashes all of them, and ruin the school. That's literally what Redo of Healer is. It is literally some CL Phantom Hive outthinking dad BS. Like, real talk. So do not come at, so don't even try to be trying to defend this anime. It's not, no, there's nothing you can defend this for. There's legit nothing you can defend this for. It is literally a hentai. It is literally Steelwitch AnnRose. Which, if you've seen that one, that's by Time and Asagi. So that's the same people that made Time and Asagi that made that one. So you know, and if you've seen Time and Asagi, I'm pretty sure you know how hardcore things can get. So when it comes down to it, it is nothing but Steelwitch AnnRose, Executive Evil Woman with Efinachika, that anime, and then it's also freaking Time Stop anime. It's literally all 3 of these separately in their own different way, and 2, if you can mix it up, some remake redo of Healer. That's literally what this is. Honestly, I can't even tell what's a hentai in the anime anymore. It's just that bad. I usually could tell, but now I'm not so sure. Ever since Interspecies Reviewer came out, and ever since that show pretty much set up a new high bar standard, it's like, dang, what's a hentai now? I don't know. It's all the same. Redo of Healer is literally a mid hentai. That's all it is. When it's gonna come up on H Anime, I don't know. It's probably just gonna go on the X videos most likely, because that's just all it really is at this point. And when it comes really down to it, all shows at this point that does controversial things and show sex scenes at this point needs an OVA or a hentai version of the show. It just needs it, because at this point I'm starting to question what is an anime and what is not a hentai. What is not an anime at this point, because it's all very confusing. Also, I'm probably gonna put this at the end, but and because I just seen the episode 2 of Redo a Healer Uncensored, which TNK did a very good job of. Honestly, it's gonna come down to TNK. For season 2 to happen, it's gonna come down to TNK. Will people care enough about the story? Are people really gonna care about this mid story, or are they gonna care about the controversial scenes? The controversial scenes, obviously, for obvious reasons. But it's gonna depend on how TNK carries out these scenes, like he did with episode 2, being very descriptive and showing what the hell happened. It's very good. Honestly, I should probably find a way to dedicate an entire video to just TNK and how they draw boobs, because it's for whatever reason they're just perfect at it. I don't get it, but they're perfect at it. So that is all I wanted to talk about with this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Again, I really do mean this show is mid as freak. Even reading through the chapters ahead of time so I know what happens, this show is freaking mid. And when it really comes down to it, it wants to be a hardcore version of Parallel Paradise so bad, but it can't be. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Tell me, do you think this show is really going to be remembered, or it's just going to be remembered through the controversies like the rest of 2021 probably is going to be like Nagatoro, which we will get to that show when it comes out. But yeah, that's pretty much all of it. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Cash App is available. All of them are in the description below. And until then, this is your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.
Baby, say my name as if you got a fucking clue. Always caught up in the moment, not condoning what I do. I've been messing with my chemistry to find the better me. Putting thoughts up on the page in hopes that you could get to me. Been this way since legit, my brain couldn't quit. Running from my issues, roll the pain in a spliff. Fade away every hit. Nobody needed me, too afraid to commit.